Hi, Bio. It's Valentine's Day, 2017. It's kind of hard to imagine that I was doing this 1 year ago. I was on top of a mountain there above San Diego, and I could look, as I was recording my last year's Valentine message to you, I was looking at you from a hilltop above San Diego. I could see right down to the towers, the radio towers above your house there in San Antonio. Anyway, it was like as I was talking to you, it just was a little bit far away. I'm sitting here in Alaska, and I have this is just incredibly beautiful. I wanted to say a little bit about where I am, what I've been doing, and then talk about things that are happening. There's so much I could tell you that I would want to say, but I'm going to do the best I can, and hope that you're, wanting to hear my thoughts. I'm looking at this volcano that's like 10 miles in the distance. It's just this beautiful cone volcano. In the area that I'm in, I kayak whenever I want. There's a resident pod of humpback whales that are squirting all the time, spouting and rolling, and there's eagles, and it's like indescribable. I've been here since July, and I'm going to work my tail backwards, go back to where I started. But the area, it's just like a Disneyland. It's just unbelievable beauty and things to do. But anyway, to go backwards a bit, I left, as you know, in August of 2015, the summer of, and started my hike to Tijuana. And I did it for 3 reasons. The first one really, it was because of you. I was just totally consumed with thinking about you and loving you so much, and it just took everything, my day, my disappointment, and yet my happiness for what you were able to continue to accomplish, and I needed to just work that out of my system and in a healthy way, and I wanted to get healthy again. Speaking of healthy, I was like, I didn't feel my age at all. I was 62 at the time. I just didn't feel it. And then I took off on this hike, which was strenuous. I mean, I didn't see anybody that was even half my age along the way. Oddly enough, most of them were women. I'd say 2 out of every 3 hikers I saw were women, but I didn't meet anybody that was doing the whole trail. There were some doing some segments, some beautiful segments, but I didn't meet one person that entire time, that 5 months of the hike, that was doing what I was doing. And I carried a 75-pound pack, so it wasn't wimpy. And I felt, I wanted to do the health thing and see what the limitations were. I went and got a checkup beforehand with the doctor and asked him, is this like crazy? And he said, no, it won't hurt you at all. So, okay, fine. Then the third reason was that, I never really got this across to you, I don't think. But my passion was my technology that I wanted to give to people that could use it. That was my purpose for being in Mexico and taking everything, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and distributing them in numerous ways to people that I really felt could use it, could need it. That's a whole nother story, but I'm just telling you my perspective, which includes yourself. I mean, I wanted whatever it took, for what I saw to be your angel inside. I just had to do it. So anyway, in my time that I was in Nehalem, staying at Jan and Ed's place, I was doing all my homework, because what I essentially was doing was looking for the right person, the right cause, to be able to forward my knowledge and my help. And I found him. So a third reason, I wanted to meet the fellow, and he by coincidence was in San Diego. He was internationally renowned and just perfect for what I was trying to do. So what I did was I created a video for him to take a look at, and then I told him I'm going to walk down. And as I walk, we talk, because I didn't want a repeat of the Mexico situation where I showed up and basically they just looked at me as money. I wanted to have the time to tell him what I wanted to do, find out what he wanted to do, and make sure that when we had our meeting that we were all on the same page, or I needed to just keep moving on, because I never had a question about the technology, but I really, really wanted two things. I wanted to be loved for who I was, not for money or power, and I wanted to use my technology knowledge to do good work. Simple. And to also say, I have come to understand that's very unusual, but that's the way I am. So anyway, I contacted him. We got in contact, and he agreed. So I took off in August, walking down. I'd be walking 8 to 10 hours a day. Honestly, I was thinking about us so many of those hours, thinking about you, and just basking in these memories of 4 years that to me were just incredibly beautiful and wonderful, and I just let it go. I'd go past these incredibly beautiful places, and it was in my own way like sharing it with us, and I did that all the way down to Tijuana. I lost all the weight that I had hoped to lose. I was in the best shape. I can honestly say I is in the best shape I've been in my entire life. I don't understand this age thing, because it's just not where I'm concerned. I don't have any. I don't feel it yet. I'm in twice the condition in every way I was when I knew you, or was with you, and I'm still doing it. So anyway, I got down there, and I desperately wanted to see you, but I couldn't, because you've got your life. I couldn't contribute financially, and you had used your skills and talents to be able to take care of yourself the way you needed to continue to do the things you need to do. So I just couldn't do it. But it didn't lessen my hopes or concerns, and in fairness, although your path took you to many new relationships, I was all for it, because it was helping you. And I don't know how to explain it to you, because you don't have children, but when you have children, your first and foremost thing that hits you, I can't even describe it. It's a sense of love that just you cannot describe. And I've experienced that kind of sense with a number of people over my life, and with you it was, magnified many, many times. So I can't describe to you that feeling of your most concern for the person that you love, no matter what. And I heard everything. I heard what you were saying and doing, and that's standard procedure. But it doesn't affect me. It doesn't have to affect my attitude, and it didn't. To this very day, it didn't. I still remember our first dinner there at the Marina Azul in La Paz. That was absolutely the most incredible evening I ever had, and still I relive it many times, as fresh as the day it was. These going on 7 years, almost to the day. So anyway, that's why I went down and did it the way I did it, and I got down there, had an absolutely wonderful time with Jose. She was wonderful in every way, and I went and visited my then friend for the first time. Met him there at the border. He picked me up, and we drove back to his place in the outskirts of San Diego, and they just treated me like I was, part of the family, long lost, part of the family, or not lost, but come back. And I got my own room and car and everything. I mean, they just couldn't do enough. And so we spent 4 months, and I went through the technology. I went through what needed to happen. I went through what I had learned vis-a-vis the Mexico experience. I told him how much I loved you and I missed you desperately, but that there was just no way that I was going to go back to what I saw as a codependent relationship, because it didn't help us. We gave each other everything we had, and then we had nothing other than this tremendous love, and that's not the way it needs to be. There's got to be a sense of interdependency, that each of us makes that choice, but not at the total expense of what we have. But anyway, so we laid it all out. I did the work I needed to do in talking with them, and it was very cool. So I did that for 4 months, got it to a place where it was decision time. They had to make decisions, and I wanted them to be able to sit on it and to speak to each other, in private over a period of time. So I left for Grand Canyon, and to be honest with you, I could just feel you were a tangible part of my everyday, and I had to get out there and get some strenuous exercise, which, believe me, Grand Canyon is unbelievable exercise. And so I, that's what I did. And I spent close to 3 months in Grand Canyon. Then I came back. I got this incredible deal for Alaska, like $70. And so I told them, to think about what I had said, what was needed, and I was going to go to Alaska because I had this desire to go into the deep wilderness where there were lots of grizzly bears and salmon and eagles, and just the way it's starting to really rain. And so I did. So I got up here and spent 2 months in the Alaskan outback with the bears and the eagles and the fish and the salmon, and just like 200 years ago. I mean, it was so beautiful, and July and August went that direction. Then September came when I got back from my wilderness hike in Alaska, and I developed some friendships, and they offered me a place because I told them I needed to put together all the work that I had done in San Diego, and I needed a nice place, and conversation led to where I, had this beautiful place, and once again had every single thing that I needed. Nothing was left out. I mean, they brought me, I had, my freezer is full of clams, crab, salmon, deer, caribou. It's just amazing. And so I have spent that time up here getting all my stuff put together, and I spoke with the people in San Diego, and they want to move ahead. So I described to them that that was fine. It's on a much larger scale than anything I've ever done, but this time I'm setting up a whole bunch of fail-safes so that I'm not seen as a checkbook, and it's not about the money. And so I've set it up such that the money is going to go to the people that need it, and I have access, but the access is safeguarded against folks that want my money or who I am in terms of the positioning and so forth. And so anyway, I'm going to come back in April and May to San Diego and finish with them what I set out to do many years ago. Actually, when I left in my sailboat 8 years ago. Oh, it's 9 years now. Whew. Anyway, all to the better, I believe. But when I get down there, I'll be there, and I'm planning a week in your neighborhood. I want to spend a day in Tijuana. I'm going to stay at the Lucerna. I want to go to the yellow restaurant and the Argentinian restaurant, and rewalk our steps. I want to watch a movie in our favorite movie spot and have Starbucks in our favorite, I just want to rewalk those steps. I want to live it. I can't shake it, but I want to live it. And I want to spend a day in Playas, at the Malecon, and once again, the 45 degree latitude place, and buy some, stuff at the grocery store. And I want to bask in that time, because when I did go down to see Jose, it was just like going back home. Everything was just so cool. And then I want to spend a couple days in Real, do the Habana and see old friends and take the hikes and the walks and where we took Gino and just relive every, breathe, touch, smell, relive it all. And then I want to go to Rosarito and spend a day there and do the Rosarito Hotel and I just want to immerse myself, in the French restaurant, the taco stand, just all those things that were my heart, my breath, my soul. It was so wrapped so tightly in this beautiful thing, and I want to do it, and I'm gonna. And lastly, I'm going to bring my tuxedo. I've always wanted to wear my tuxedo down there. I want to wear my tuxedo in Tijuana, and I want to wear it in Habana, and I want to wear it in Rosarito, and I just want to have some good, wonderful, classy times with my beautiful memories. I don't have direct plans to contact you. I think it's really important that you're able to complete what it is that you're trying to do. I think that it wasn't you specifically. It's not the first time I get associated with money and power and stuff, and it's my own fault. I'm the one that promotes a lot of that, but that's not what I am. I have a dream. I have the ability to do some significant work for folks, and that's what I want to do. And if somebody can love me along the way, that's great. I'm not going to lose the desire to give all I got, but it's got to be interdependent. It can't be dependent. I just can't get into another dependency relationship where it's codependent. I just can't do it. And I'm looking at what you're doing, and you did it. For that matter, we both did it. You have the capacity to be interdependent now. You have your own skill. You have relationships. Presumably, you're feeling really good about yourself because of those things. And you have relationships that helped you get through all that I'm grateful for. You never got that. You called it, you were so anxious to point out jealousy. I would love to feel jealous. I'd love to meet somebody I'm jealous of, that I felt, was taking something of mine because I was jealous of them. It just isn't inside me. I know who I am and what I bring to the table. And if that isn't good enough, then that's the way it goes. But for those that I love, I don't want anything other than them getting those things that they love, even if it ends up being contrary to who I am or contrary to the beliefs. I still love them. I still love Bonnie, of course, Bonnie, my wife, and my kids and all. But there's a sense of integrity that has to be maintained from within myself, and when that integrity is impugned, I can't be there. So anyway, I'm getting off the track and wordy. But I want you to know these things. I think of you every day. I'd like to tell you that functionally, my hike and this time and the people and the new opportunities and all that has lessened the amount of time per day I think about you, but it's not true. I still do. And I don't feel I don't have any feelings of anger, vengeance, nothing like that. I'm ecstatic inside that is going. Now, I've told you since the beginning that it wasn't about jealousy, it's about the time, Every second we could spend together was so meaningful to me. That was the issue. And things that took the time were because you can't replace it. Once it's gone, it's gone. I can't make those times happen again. So I lived them the best I could, and still I do. Each day, with the memories and the pictures, and holy crap. I mean, it's frequently overwhelming. There's times I still get these huge washes of emotion coming in that are coming from outside, from down south, from your neighborhood. Anyway, again, enough of that. I digress. So I'm gonna call it quits on this message to you, and you don't need to. I'm not asking you to reply in the least. I feel strongly that your relationships were able to give you what you needed, and they got what they wanted. But when I look at those pictures, those few pictures that I can of you, and it's not the same. When I was with you, there was, I wanted you to look 110% of everything that you were capable of looking or doing. It was important to me that everything that could be done would help you reach whatever potentials you were capable of and possessed, and because that was, to me, I wasn't intimidated or afraid in the least of having you around others looking, the way you are. It was wonderful. But I'm not going to fool myself either. I don't believe there's too many guys like me out there. Anyway, I'm gonna. But my one wish for you is, my favorite movie is Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart. It's just the best. And that's my wish for you on Valentine's Day. They have it on YouTube. I'm not sure whether it's free or you have to pay like $2. I don't even know if you can pay $2. I don't know if you have a card or debit card or whatever, how it is out of Mexico. But it's Netflix has it. It's a beautiful, wonderful movie that I would wish you to see on Valentine's Day. In fact, I'm going to try and copy it and stick it up on my cloud and then send you the link. You can watch it free. Anyway, again, no need to respond in the least. I have no idea how you're receiving this. You could be seething, hating me. I don't know. I have no clue. But and I'm not asking for a clue. But I want to take this special day, at least once a year, and just relive the memories by speaking to you and my feelings, and I'm just not going to stuff it. It's very real, and particularly since, my God, I don't know, this has been the best choice I ever made in my life, was to get out and be so physical. So, okay, I'm going to say bye. And I'm going to love you the way I loved you forever. And I'm okay with it. And it doesn't matter what you do or what you say or who you're with. I'm always going to wish the absolute best, and from the depth of my heart. And that's just the way it is. It's like I said with the kids, when you have kids, it doesn't matter whether they come out with no toes, no fingers. The love is the same, and it doesn't matter what they do. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. And along the path, there are people like that, at least for me, that I've been able to connect to. And I'm always going to see your angel inside. Always. Always. Okay, I'll see you, Beal. All my love. Bye-bye.